All right, so when was the last time you're with your boys, your buddies, your bros, and you're hanging out, playing a little ultimate frisbee, maybe watching the game, playing some foosball, whatever, it doesn't matter. All of a sudden you're like, your mouth just doesn't taste exactly right. So you ask them, hey, yo, Bobby, what's happening, dude? Did you see that? Hey, can I ask you something? Does my breath smell? Now, if Bobby was really your buddy, he would stand there and take it as you huff your hot, stinky breath on him, right? And tell you the truth. But instead, you'd probably get something like this. Dude, don't you ever do that again. Well, gents, in an attempt to prevent you from having this awkward exchange, I figured today I would tell you 6 specific reasons why your breath might be stinky. Because knowing the causes can help prevent horrible halitosis. Reason number 1. Teeth. You've got poor oral hygiene. 2 weeks ago, I'm getting ready to go to the dentist for a 6-month cleaning, right? So I'm like, yo, this is a perfect opportunity to make a video. So I pack up my video camera and I'm getting ready to walk into the dentist office. And all of a sudden, I realized 2 very important things. A, I wouldn't be able to talk because the doctor's hands are in my mouth the whole time. And B, nobody wants to see me get my teeth cleaned. Gross, says the guy who just took you to get his nose hair waxed. So it didn't happen, but the idea was solid, right? And the moral of that video would have been right here. I'll sum it up for you now. Gentlemen, you need to keep your mouth clean. Most of us weren't born with perfectly white and perfectly straight chompers, but that doesn't mean that you can't keep the ones that you have incredibly clean. Bacteria could be causing your breath to stink, all right? Here's the deal with bacteria, right? You know where they like to be? You know where they like to multiply? In warm, wet places. Your mouth happens to be warm and wet. Thus, bacteria, if left unmanaged, will run rampant and ultimately cause your breath to stink horribly. Brush your teeth and floss twice a day, but don't forget to scrape or brush the back of your tongue. Reason number 2, you're not drinking enough water. Yeah, you're dehydrated. Gentlemen, a dry mouth is a stinky mouth. Yeah, the reason is because saliva. Okay, yeah, it keeps your mouth nice and fresh, lubricated, but it also helps wash away some of the odor-causing bacteria. Gentlemen, drink plenty of water, stay hydrated. Reason number 3 actually causes reason number 2, all right? Allergies. Now, allergies in themselves do not cause your mouth to dry out, but if you suffer from seasonal allergies like I do, then you know that when it starts to hit, when it gets funky, your sinuses get a little bit constricted, and what happens, to compensate, you start breathing in and out of your mouth to get that oxygen that you need. Well, the breathing constantly in and out of your mouth actually is drying it out. And like we talked about, a dry mouth is a stinky mouth. Gentlemen, get your allergies in check and it could actually help with your breath. Reason number 4, you might just be eating the wrong stuff. Now, I'm not talking about garlic or drinking coffee. Everybody knows that if you eat garlic, a lot of times it's going to come out of your pores, it's going to come out of your breath. You're stinking like garlic for days, right? Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about things like dairy. Yeah, dairy. Dairy actually increases mucus production. This increased mucus actually does have a tendency to have an odor. It's a sour odor, which is probably not the best for your breath. The other thing is carbohydrates. If you're eating a diet that's very high in sugar, bacteria love sugar. This sugar helps them multiply, so if you cut down on the amount of sugar, you could actually be improving your breath. Reason number 5, something that I am all too familiar with, and that is sinus infections. Now, infection, okay? An infection smells bad. It doesn't matter if that infection is in a wound or it is in your sinuses, all right? But the problem with sinus infections, that drainage going down the back of your throat, okay? It's not smelling good, all right? The mucus is going down your throat. The odor is coming out your mouth. The good news is that sinus infections and your bad breath associated with them can be cured up with some simple antibiotics, all right? So go see a doctor and get it under control. Now, one thing that because I am a sufferer of sinus infections, chronic sinus infections, one thing that I have found incredibly valuable is actually rinsing my sinuses or my sinus cavity 2 times a day with a saline solution. It's not the neti pot. That thing is awkward. I'm talking Lemon Squeeze Bottle, baby. There's a link below to the video where I talk about it. Reason number 6, last but certainly not least, is acid reflux. Now, for those of you out there that have experienced acid reflux, indigestion, or heartburn, you know that it gets hot, it gets burny, you're belching a little bit. What you're actually burping is stomach acid. Not real pleasant. Well, this acid also has an odor, and if you're constantly having this happen, even if you're not belching, even if you don't feel the pain, you still can be emitting an odor out of your mouth. You get that reflux under control, and you're going to be amazed at how much better your breath smells. Also, that taste in your mouth. Bad breath, right? It happens. It happens to you, it happens to me, it happens to all of us. But chronic bad breath or halitosis is something that can definitely be controlled if you know what is causing the bad breath. So this is my recommendation to you, all right? Ask some people. Say, hey, be honest. And this is something that I know is not easy. Don't go up to a stranger, but just be like, hey, I'm serious now. I got a question. And they're going to be like, what? And be like, does my breath normally smell like bad? Would you say that I have bad breath? And hopefully if they're your friend, they're going to be like, no, never. Some of them are going to be like, no, you're cool. I like to think that I would tell a friend if they asked me that they had stinky breath. But to be honest, most of my friends I think have pretty decent breath. But there are those people, and you've been around them, I've been around them, we've all been around them, that it doesn't matter. It's like you avoid talking to them, or you're holding your breath simultaneously, breathing out of your mouth when they're talking to you if they're close to you because it smells so bad and you're like, oh God, get away from me. I would like to leave you with one bad breath word of wisdom. Gentlemen, never turn down the offer for a mint. They may just be courteous, but they may be trying to tell you something.